Alright guys, so today's video is not only on what is probably one of the most popular gaming headsets, but it's also on what I did to actually make it even better. Now the pair that we're going to talk about today is the Audeze Maxwell. Again, this one's pretty widely known across the audiophile community. In fact, Brian Phillips, a buddy of mine over at Bad Seed Tech, did a video with audiophiles basically asking them what are their favorite gaming headsets, and a lot of them basically went to this pair, and for all good reason, which we'll talk about throughout this video. Now the one that I'm going to talk about is the Xbox version. This one does come in a little bit more at $329. If you do not need these to be used on the Xbox, you could save yourself $30 and get the other version, which comes in at $299. But the $329 also gets you a Dolby Atmos license. So if you're going to use it on your PC, once you plug it in with the USB-C dongle that's included, the license is actually built into the headset. So you're just good to go right out of the box. And this is huge, especially if you're somebody that games on your PC. So some of the things about this headset that kind of makes it stand out is it also has Bluetooth built in. It has Bluetooth 5.3. And it has that USB-C dongle. So there's two different ways to use this headset wirelessly, but it also has 90mm planar magnetic drivers. Now, obviously this is a lot different than the normal dynamic drivers we see in other headsets. It also has that Dolby Atmos support, which is huge. And with the Bluetooth connection, it supports LE audio or low energy audio, LC3 Plus, and LDAC playback. So you're getting some of the best Bluetooth codecs you can possibly get. So they really are aiming for this to be a headset or headphone that you can use for not only gaming and watching movies, but also used on your mobile device to listen to music. It really is supposed to be the one headphone to do it all. Now the build quality and the design of these, it really can just look like a pair of audiophile type headphones, especially because the mic is detachable, and when the mic's not on here, it just looks like a normal pair of headphones. Now it's built from aluminum and steel. It does have a little bit of weight to it. It definitely does not feel cheap. It does use the suspension headband, but it also has some pleather padding right up above that. And the ear pads on here are extremely soft. It has that memory foam built in, but this is where I made the switch to some Dakoni pads. In fact, I'm using the Elite sheepskin pads, and this changed the audio in a way that I think definitely favors the way that I like to hear things. It made things sound a little bit warmer, it made them sound a little bit more natural, and it's just an extremely comfortable ear pad. Now, this is not a sponsored video. Dakoni pads I have used on other headphones that I've had. It's just a company that I like what they do. They have velour pads, they have hybrid pads, they have, again, the sheepskin. They offer a lot. They offer them pretty much for almost any headphone you can possibly think of. So I'm going to put a link to their site as well if you want to check out some of the things that they do. Again, I highly recommend it. Now the controls on here, everything is on the left hand side. You do have your power button. You also have a mic mute switch, and then they use wheels instead of actual buttons for most things. Now for gaming, you have your volume wheel, and then you have the wheel to kind of balance out your chat or game mix that you want to hear played back. And then for Bluetooth, you basically kind of just press the wheels and turn them up and down if you want it to go to the previous track or, go to the next track. Also, you have your volume control. So you have control over everything just right out of the box on the left ear cup. Now, it does work with a desktop app because it obviously works with your PC, but it also works with a mobile app because of that Bluetooth connection. This is basically how you would keep these updated. They do have some pre-built EQ options in there, which I do recommend going through because I'm always kind of curious as to how well headphones or headsets actually react or respond to different EQ settings. There's so many headphones out there that I test. When you go in and you mess around with the EQ options, it really doesn't do much. But the Audeze Maxwell does respond very well to EQing. So go in and just fine tune it the way that you want to. You can also go in and adjust the game and the chat mix in here as well. And then you can also adjust the side tone. So if you want to hear yourself when you're talking in gaming, you want to hear yourself louder, you can control that here. Or if you just want to turn it down all the way or turn it down a little bit more, you would control all of that within the app. Now, as far as what all they've included in the box, you do get a normal 3.5mm headphone cable. That way you could just plug it straight into any device that has a headphone jack and use them that way. And then it also comes with a USB-C cable for charging. And the battery life on these are very impressive. It says you can get a little over 80 hours just on normal use. So if you're somebody that games a lot, you'll know that's pretty important, that you don't have to make sure these are charged all the time. And if they are dead, it has one of the most impressive fast charging that I've seen on any headset or headphone. A 20-minute charge. It's advertised to give you all day battery life, but it really gets you somewhere between 20 to 30 hours just on a 20-minute charge. Again, that's extremely impressive. And so that's a feature that I like on almost any headphone, but to be able to get that kind of battery life is just insane. Now, it does come with a detachable hypercardioid mic, which I feel does a really good job of picking up my voice. It's also using what they call AI noise filters. So if you're in a more noisy environment, it'll block a lot of that out. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
So here is the mic test using the Audeze Maxwell. And in my opinion, this is just one of the better sounding microphones that are out there. I feel like it's just picking up my voice very well. And I think for the most part, things sound pretty natural. So this is what it would sound like if you're going to use the Audezes while gaming.
So now let's talk about the sound. These are obviously known for their sound for a reason. And that is because of how full these sound. And these planar magnetic drivers definitely kind of separate these from all of the other headsets that are using just regular dynamic drivers. It just gives it more life. The mid-range, I feel like, is so well represented, which is important with gaming, because this is how you hear dialogue. This is how you hear vocals if you're going to be listening to music. Guitars, especially acoustic guitars, have a much better representation because of these planar drivers. But it's not going to be that overly bass-heavy pair of headphones. So if that's what you're expecting, that's something I've never really gotten from planars. I feel like bass is a lot more natural. It's a lot faster. It's quicker. It's definitely able to keep up with everything, which, again, because of gaming, that's really important when it comes to gunshots. When it comes to drums, listening to music, this is important because it doesn't get muddy. It doesn't get congested. And that kind of describes the overall sound of these. They're just, everything is so well separated. And the treble on these never get overly harsh. They don't get like extremely bright. Again, they kind of have that warmer tone to them. And I always feel like this makes these sound, again, I've said this before, just natural. It sounds like what you would hear in a normal, just everyday environment. If that environment is you getting shot by things or just explosions and stuff like that. So yeah, from a gaming aspect, it is very hard to find a gaming headset that has sound like these. But when it comes to music, obviously there's a lot more competition, but I still think where these are priced, if you're looking for a wireless pair of headphones, the sound of these definitely really compete with the Sony and the Bose that at times can cost more than these, but it's giving you more of that audiophile experience. And that kind of ties into the sound stage and the sound imaging. This is a pretty wide open sounding pair of headphones, and it really just does a great job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. And that's mainly because it's an excellent gaming headset. So my overall opinion is this. These are going to be hard to beat when it comes to just looking for that one pair that can be your headphones for music, but also your headset when it comes to gaming or when it comes to movies. This one really is a one pair to just do it all. And again, I highly recommend going with the Dakoni sheepskin pads, the Elite pads. This to me just added to the overall experience. They're super comfortable, and it just makes it seem like something that should have come stock with the Audeze Maxwells anyway, which that's not a hit on the ear pads that already come on these. They're excellent, but this just kind of takes it up a notch. So guys, that's my video on the Audeze Maxwell Xbox edition. Again, it applies to the regular edition as well. If you don't need that Dolby support and you're obviously not going to be gaming on PC, go with the others, save yourself about 30 bucks. But at $329, I think it's a great investment, and it's one that you're not having to buy a separate pair of headphones because this is your gaming headset, or you're not buying a gaming headset because these are your headphones. this is just going to be able to do it all. But guys, that's my video on the Audeze Maxwell. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.